Hey guys, today we're gonna do a video. It's been a long time, so I'm really glad for anyone who clicks on the video. Today, Hunter x Hunter has been releasing new chapters lately, so that made me think of one thing that really got on my nerves. A while ago, which is that the VIZ translation of Hunter x Hunter, of course, the recent chapters are still not perfect, but when I was reading like Volume 1 especially, they literally just cut out half the text. Like basically you they just literally cut it out. Like they were just like, oh, this is too much text, our audience is children, we don't want to bore them, so let's just literally just omit half the information. So I want to just find some examples of that today. It might be a little bit of a longer video, I guess, because I'm too lazy to edit and stuff. But yeah, I'm just gonna show you some cases where they fucked up the translation in volume 1, with probably the first two chapters especially. Okay, literally on like page 5 or something, we already have the first omission. On the right, you can see clearly, I don't know if you can see my mouse, let me double check. Okay, you can. So here you see there's a 10, right? And here there's no 10. So, I mean, you can even tell that even if, you can be aware of these things even if you don't, if you're not fluent in Japanese. But this says, on this island, it's already been 10 years since someone's been able to, kind of fish that thing up. And here it just says 4 years. So I don't mean like 1, 2, 3, 4, like it's like four, right? Like, why would they get rid of the 10? I don't think you're even saving that much bubble space. So yeah, I just find that very, very strange. This is just the very beginning, guys. So strap in and get ready. Okay, here's something that's kind of minor but definitely different. There's a lot of tiny. If I wanted to like criticize every single little wording thing, that would just, take way too long. But so I'll only point out things that are like, definite. Like there's no room for argument. So on the right here it says, people who can't, keep their promises don't become someone like that. That's what. And it says, you're the one who taught me that, right, Aunt Mito? But here on the left, it says, but meaning what you say, that's something else, right, Aunt Mito? So the factual information that Gon is acknowledging, actually pointing out that his aunt is the one who taught him that, which is kind of a psychological cornering of her, is just not present in the left. It's just more like, that's just, on the left, he's just like, oh, that's what I should do, right? On the right, he's like, that's what you told me to do, right? You told me that. So I'm not like super good at English idioms, so I'm not sure if this on the left is some kind of like, here, let me double check actually. I don't want to embarrass myself. All right, I think this one is fair enough. All right, here, they just totally changed it for no reason. On the right, it says, he might have heard it from someone, or sorry, he might have asked someone, or he might have just, come to that conclusion without knowing anything. But then on the left, it says, it was no deep, dark secret, and it hardly matters why. That's not really what she said. Here she's saying like he might have heard it from someone or talked to someone about it or whatever. So like these kinds of little details, I know Togashi doesn't literally plan out every single thing from chapter 1, but he, like no one does, right? That's my point. But at the very least, he can come back to these things, look at the specific wording, and he usually, does some like pretty ingenious things with the wording. Like even if you look at how, Morena says like she's her own subject in the latest chapter, I think that's pretty cool. Someone else pointed that out. It's actually not like, I think in the Japanese version, it's, anyway, I'll just skip. That's a different topic. But anyway, he does like a lot of cool things with very little details, and he calls back to them. So it's not a good thing to just like mess around with all the context. Okay, here's another omission already. Like I'm not even gonna make it to chapter 2 at this point. Look at this. Here it says, あの子の目が持つ光は父親そっくりだ. Okay, so ignore my shitty accent, but that says the light that is kind of I'm live translating, so don't pick on my translation. Okay, I just want to make sure that the information is conveyed to you. But here it says the light that that child's eyes possess are the exact same, just like his father's. And here in the English it just says the gleam in his eyes tells you his choice has been made. Like, it doesn't mention that it's the same gleam as his father's at all. Like, what is the purpose of removing this? You have bubble space. You can change the font size. Like, are you trying to keep the font size the same throughout the entire page? Like, are you that lazy? I don't understand. Now, I don't think you have to be literal when translating, but I don't understand why you would cut this out. You see here, there's a 2, right? Do you see a 2 in this bubble? Like, why would they? This is like one of the most obvious ways you could be called out. I don't know why they would, leave this evidence that they're fucking things up. Here it says, when you look at this, no matter like what, like dumb like animals are there, within 2 seconds they'll have run to the nearest mountain. They'll have headed for the hills. Here it says the very flies know the sign and will clear out of the air. Like, where is the 2 seconds later? Like, where is the within 2 seconds? The urgency has gone down because that's gone. Okay, so here we have let me get the dictionary real quick. Okay, I checked it. So here he says I should have ignored the warning calls, but here it just says he gave a warning call. And then here it says you know, it actually says here on the English, it only says, now I have this pointless kill. On the right, it says, now for the first time in a while, I have had to commit a sickening munakuso warui. This word is not here at all. This is just as pointless, but this is more like sickening, like distasteful killing. And it also, there's the thing about like first time in a long time. On the left, you could even interpret it as like, oh, he hasn't killed anyone at all. So this is why I assume sometimes when like English Hunter x Hunter fans, when they get the chance to talk to like other Hunter x Hunter fans around the world, I guess, they might just like, if that happens, they might just come to a conclusion that like, the other person is factually wrong. But in reality, it's because the translation is just lying, basically. Okay, this one, since they're not keeping like a lot of the Japaneseisms, I guess like it's kind of shikata ga nai, but here you have like, do you know my, oh, he calls him, oh yeah, Oji-san, do you know my dad? And he's reacting like, oh, Oji, because Oji-san is like uncle, but it also kind of implies like once you graduate from Oni-san, big brother, to Oji-san, it means you kind of cross like a threshold in like old manliness. But on the left, it says sir. So the sir is kind of like, oh, you really respect me that much. But here, it's like, oh, I'm actually that old. So it's kind of different. It's not an omission, but it's just different. Now, this I guess is not a big problem, but I'm just gonna mention it anyway. Here, this bubble says, wow, this is quite the surprise. But here on the left it says, hey, your dad's why I'm here. Why would you get rid of the surprise element? I don't get it. And then here it says, I think this part from here on its right, it says, I've been looking for any like clues. So I came to his birthplace. And here he says, I guess it wasn't a complete waste after all. And here it says, I guess I've just found one. So that last part isn't bad. I just don't get why they would get rid of like the surprising part here, this odoroki. So they got rid of one thing here. It says he's, as far as I know, the greatest hunter, which is the nuance is a little different because now that we know about the world of hunters, like I think it's possible that, the oh shit, why am I forgetting his name? Oh yeah, I think it's possible that Kite here, like, just doesn't actually know any better hunters, but that might not be representative of fact. Whereas when like a reader is reading chapter 1, they might actually just take whatever is like stated as fact because it's the intro to a story. You just want to be basic and straightforward. So, but it's Togashi, so I think they should have kept the as far as I know. Okay, I just moved the screen around a bit. I hope you've been able to see like my mouse when I've been pointing at stuff. But I might have been like out of the like reference frame. I hope not. Anyway, let's continue. Okay, very slight difference here. Here it says I would have died, like a dog in some pestilent alley. So this kind of implies that the pestilent alley is part of the analogy. But in the right, in the Japanese, it says, I would have died, in some like pestilent slum alley, like a dog, or like a dog's death in a. So this like part about the slum area is literal. So I mean, why could this be important? I don't know. There could be like a reveal, like, oh, Kaito is actually from the, Meteor City slums. Okay, that's definitely not true. But I'm just saying, like, you shouldn't just edit everything, for no reason. Okay, this is a pretty stupid example. Like, I mean, it's a good example, but like VIZ was being stupid. What is this? On the left, it says, that's not what your aunt told you. She had her reasons. She's afraid for you, wants to protect you. Okay, what does it say on the right? Your aunt, um, even if she had to, lie, she wanted to make sure that you wouldn't follow in your father's footsteps. That's what it seems like. So that is what he is saying. He never mentions she's afraid for you. He never mentions she wants to protect you. This is some kind of like weird abridged for kids like explanation for brainlets. I don't understand. Here it says she just doesn't want him to follow in his father's footsteps. So honestly, it could like Kite could be explaining, he could be talking about like, she just doesn't want to be left alone again because, that's what, Jing or Ging did. Um, he, he ran away from her, left her all alone, right? And that's actually seen in this chapter, I believe. But here, I mean, the English translation and then look, what is this? But blood tells kid and yours speaks volumes. Like, are they trying to be slick or something? Is this like some kind of video game localization contest? Like, look at the right. It says, but no matter how you look at it, you have what it takes to become a talented hunter or something. Where is that here? It doesn't say it at all. Look, on the right, if you know katakana at all, these thingies say hanta, hunter. Where's the hunter in this bubble? Okay, another small weird omission for no reason. Kon, from now on, we won't be able to meet anymore. Here it says Kon, this is it. Why not just make it more clear? Because Gon is a character who wants to make things clear, right? Okay, here's something I think they could have just done literally. Here it says, the first part is the same, but instead of I don't want that to change, it's I don't want to cause trouble for you. So why not just keep that? Because that's a very common sentiment in Japanese, right? Culture. So, as far as I know, you rule is not the right translation because here it says Genki de na, which just means like, well, it literally means like stay healthy or stay like, I guess like energetic or whatever. It's like, just be well. But I don't know, you rule, I don't really. Is that like, I guess that's their way of implying that it's a kid saying like, I don't know. Maybe this one's fine, I don't know. Okay, so this is where Viz is inventing fan fiction again. Well, actually, it could be that I just forgot and I'm wrong about the actual facts, but this translation is definitely weird because it says, he left you with me when you were still a baby. On the right, it says, he threw you away when you were a baby, right? So, okay, I might be like BTFO'd just within this one chapter, but just if we like ended the manga right here on this page, it is entirely possible that, you know, Jin, Gingu, whatever. I don't know why they changed it to Ging, by the way. It's like Jin in the Japanese. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, so Ging could have left Gon with someone for like, I don't know, 1 year and then gave him to Mito. Like, we have no idea of knowing that at this point. Like, we have no way of knowing that at this point. And yet they invented the with me. Here, I think they killed the impact of the translation. On the left, it says, so important that family comes second. Here it says, okay, so here there's like also a must, like, oh, it might be kind of thing. But on the right, it's more like, let me see if it's recording. Okay, good. So on the right, we have something like, it must be a job. Actually, okay, the must is fine, never mind. But on the right, it says, it must be a job that you want to continue doing, even if you'd have to throw away your child, So I think the family comes second is kind of neutering the wording. Okay, here, I don't know what this isn't for weaklings is. On the right, he says, hunter, being a hunter, huh? So that it just must be the job, it must be that amazing of a job, huh? He says sugoi. Sugoi can mean a million things. No, I don't know why they would interpret it as like weaklings. That's not what Gon said at all, in my opinion. I think he's saying Wow, like that's just how amazing the job of the role of being a hunter is. And I'm pretty sure the anime translation did something like that too. Like honestly, it's such a weird world when these like anime translators who we always shit on have better translations than the manga. Yeah, that's just kind of with like professional translators, so to speak. Okay, so here I think the nuance is different on the left. It's like it's almost like she's admitting it. It's like, "Oh, it's true. I've been lying. It's true. You are his son." On the right, it's more like with the yappari. Why can I never pronounce this right? Yappari. So it's basically like saying, "You know what? You're his son after all," because she's like mad at him. So in this flashback, they're just recalling what Kite said, and here it says again, he is the greatest hunter. Um, but then he that's where here, right? He's the best. There's no other hunter like him. But weirdly, for this flashback text, they chose the other one in that bubble. So this is he's the greatest hunter, and here it says there's no one like him. So that is not the right one. Okay, here is Viz inventing fan fiction again. Um, you know, in the 0% chance that a Viz translator is watching this, I don't mean to like attack you personally, but if a translation is shit, I'm gonna call it shit, okay? So here on the right it says, Mito-san, 今まで arigato. Okay, my fucking pronunciation is so shit whenever I'm reading out loud. Anyway, but there's no Like, I don't think Gon is the kind of person who would say here. He's just saying, Mito-san, thanks for everything up to now, you know? And then on the left, it's like, nah, I don't know why. And then on the right, I don't know, you can tell yourself, right? There's like one group of like, what is this even called? Let's just say like dots here. And then here there's like four, I don't know. And then here, I lied to you, Gon, right? There's not even a, oh yeah, okay, again, I guess. But anyway, see, like, why are there two thingies here? They just like wanted to create their own kind of atmosphere. I don't know. I don't think I know. Like, literal translation is not. Oh shit! Where did I last leave off? Oh no. Um, I had it paused and I was talking. Crap. Oh no. Okay, well, I think. Well, I'll double check in the video. I guess if I missed anything, I will see, this is like 1740-ish. I'll write that down. If I missed anything, I'll just add it back in the chapter 2 video, which I might do. 1740. All right, I will check. But anyway, I was just saying to the paused video that, I mean, recording that this is we have some pretty bad things here. Here it says that's a tiny fraction of the number that apply for the yearly exam. What's a tiny fraction, right? Is it like 1 out of 10? Because that seems pretty tiny to me. But on the right, it says every year from around the country, Zenkoku, which implies that, from around the world, maybe there could be more people who come to this hunter exam. I'm not sure. I forget if every country has their own. I doubt it. But the thing is, like, maybe Viz at this point just legit did not read ahead, or maybe there weren't volumes ahead enough to realize that there's other countries in the world, and there's hunters from those countries as well who take the same test, I'm assuming. Anyway, so just from this country alone, we have several 100,000 times more people who are urekiki, means like strong, like capable, who are taking the test. So the information here is it's a tiny fraction of the number that apply. On the right, it says from this country, there's several 100,000 times more people who are very capable. So that's like 3 pieces of information already missing. This is also really bad here. It says on the left, it says there's a chance that the exam is the last thing you'll attempt in your life. The topic is the exam, right? But on the right, the topic is actually the career, shokugyo. It says depending on the prey or like the target you're aiming for, between your nakama, like your comrades, your like co-workers, whatever, you might even have to end up killing each other. That's not such a rare thing in this like field of being a hunter. And yet on the left it just says this exam is dangerous. It's legit not even the same topic. Like I don't know how you would mess this up. So I'm too lazy to think about how you could have done this, but here areruna is like a double meaning for like this sea is going to be like it's looking very rough. Which would have given Japanese readers at the end of chapter 1 of this new serialization something to look forward to. Oh, the first problem Gon will have to face maybe is that the sea is going to be rough. How is he going to deal with that? But on the left it just says it's going to be rough. So they don't have a concrete preview of what's going to happen in chapter 2 when indeed the sea is rough. Obviously, I can look back on this and be like, oh, so that's what they were referring to. But I'm sure when VIZ was translating volume 1, they had access to at least all of volume 1. So this areruna is it's gonna be rough, as in the sea is gonna be rough. It's looking like I don't know, bad weather, stormy, whatever, right? So I think they probably could have, using the amazing language that is English, I'm sure they could have found a way to translate that properly. So let me see, just in case if there's anything I missed. I mean, I can't check it until I'm done. That's just how OBS works, and I press stop. But I'll just sum up here. They cut out like some nuance of like her actually taking the right to raise him away. She stole it from him, and then what else? It's about time I met him. Oh, and then just in case, this is the just Kite's flashback text, but from the same bubble, they picked the wrong one. This is he is the greatest hunter, and there's no other hunter like him, whereas that was see, he's the best, there's no other hunter like him, and then he's the best, there's no other hunter like him. So yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't put he's the best here. And then here, just in case, I might be repeating myself at this point, the why can I never pronounce this word? Holy crap. Yappari is basically saying, so in the end, you really are his son, It's like she's expressing that extra feeling. It's not just admitting like, oh yeah, it is true that you are his son. And then this weakling thing, he actually said sugoi. All right, I'm pretty sure at this point I must have covered anything I possibly could have missed in the pause. So I'm just gonna end the video here. As you can see, I hope this convinced you that VIZ's translation for Hunter x Hunter, maybe especially their translation for manga in the 2000s, or like what I don't know when they released Hunter x Hunter. I'm assuming like 2000s, like 2010 at the latest. But maybe their quality back then was especially bad. Nowadays, we have, people ready to brigade them whenever there's bad translation, like with, Jujutsu Kaisen. People are saying, oh, the fan translation's better. I can't really verify that. I don't know too much about that series. But as you can see from this chapter, this is why I wanted to reread Hunter x Hunter in English. I have before reread Hunter x Hunter in English a couple times, I think, and I had fun every time. I think it was great. So thank you, Viz, for the translation. I say that purely, I just say that genuinely. But as you can see, there's a lot of mistakes. Mistakes, I don't know if you can call them mistakes if they're like they did it like while aware that they were mistakes, because the translation like quality itself is not bad. I guess the accuracy is the issue, as in like they are just, the English is good, I guess, but the translation itself is shit. So, I haven't checked the recent chapters. I'm sure the issues there are more boring than this one. That's why I made this one into a video. I might do chapter 2 as well. I remember like it getting worse, like when the Kurapika, Leorio, and Gon, they go to like those shape-shifting like villagers or whatever. I just remember like something about the path there, they're traveling, just the dialogue monologue being absolutely cut down. Just shameful behavior from Viz, and that is why when I reread Hunter x Hunter in the future, well, I actually did read up to like volume 2 in Japanese, but if I ever reread it again in the future, it's gonna have to be in Japanese, because I just do not trust their translations at this point, especially for, you know, Hunter x Hunter or older manga, I guess. Um, so yeah, I mean, our translation in the West just sucks ass. Like, I wish we had. I heard the French people or the Spanish people are always like, "Hey, I checked your English translations on like Manga Plus. How come they look like different from ours?" And then, oh yeah, for English, they pre-cut the page sizes. They crop them, sometimes cropping up like places, I mean pieces of panels, which kind of messes with the aspect ratio of every panel, which is part of the composition. But they crop it out because their volume sizes, like the print sizes, are some particular like dimensions for the page, and so they pre-crop it out. Like, that's fucking garbage, dude. Anyway, I think Viz is kind of trash. If I ever get like called out for this somehow, like that will probably end my career. But whatever, it is what it is. So thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a subscribe, just in case I ever drop a chapter 2 video. I don't know if I will. I just really wanted to do this. It's been like probably a year, right, since I made my last video. I'm just rambling. To that one guy who keeps commenting, bro, you're epic, man. You're epic. Everyone else is epic too. I hope you guys will share this video with your friends on Reddit. Because Reddit is the best platform. Good, what the hell am I saying? Goodbye, guys.